Hello and welcome to Business 360. I'm Shireen Bhan. The headlines we're tracking for you this Friday evening. Stock markets end with minor gains for the day and the week. Mid-caps continue to outperform with the index closing at record highs. The US averts what could have been the first ever debt default. The US Congress clears the bill to suspend the debt ceiling for 2 years. President Biden will sign the bill into law today. Strong demand for the Coal India shares as the offer for sale draws to a close. The DPAM secretary tells CNBC-TV18 proceeds will cross 4,000 crore rupees. That's a CNBC-TV18 exclusive. Indigo to spread its wings to 6 new international cities, take its global destination count to 32. The airline will operate direct flights to Jakarta, Nairobi, Baku in Azerbaijan and Tashkent in Uzbekistan, among others. Plans to add 174 new weekly international flights between June and September. The US drug regulator bars Gujarat-based Pharma from importing products to the US. From its Ahmedabad plant, the regulator had issued 11 observations in January, including issues ranging from inadequate documentation to microbiological contamination. InfoEdge initiates a forensic audit into Rahul Yadav-backed prop tech startup broker network. Says the company is not providing details of financial transactions, even though it's contractually obliged to do so. InfoEdge has already written off its 280 crore rupee investment into broker network. The Law Commission of India recommends retaining the Sedition Law with changes due to internal security threats, recommends extending the maximum jail term from 3 to 7 years, also asks the centre to issue model guidelines to curb misuse. The 2 FIRs against Wrestling Federation Chief Brij Bhushan Singh detail at least 10 incidents of alleged molestation, 15 incidents of sexual harassment and 2 instances of demanding sexual favours to support careers of athletes. The incidents allegedly took place from 2012 to 2022. Amidst growing demand for his arrest, Singh postpones his proposed rally in Ayodhya. Well, let's start with the market action for the day. A range-bound session has seen the benchmark indices closing the day and the week with minor gains. Mid-caps, though, continue to outperform, with that index posting a record close. Sensex and the Nifty and Nifty Bank remained flat for the week. Now, Morgan Stanley's Ridhan Desai says market internals appear to be strong and described the month of May as marvellous. In a new note, Desai said FPIs have returned net buys in May and the market breadth remains sturdy. S. Narain of ICICI Prudential believes India is the best structural story with strong macros. The challenge is to decide what kind of premium one should pay. Narain identifies financials and power as his top picks.
So, for us, both financials and power are 2 sectors where we find, again, more comfort because valuations are very comfortable in financials. Of course, there is a problem that margins in financials have been high. That is, net interest margins have been high and NPLs have been at record lows. So those are 2 small problems that things have been very, very good. But otherwise, I would say at least the valuations are very, very reasonable in the context of the past. And that's why if you see our published portfolios, you'll see different new age stocks also in the portfolio, whereas just after listing at some point of time, we didn't have them.
Well, that is S. Narain on the markets. Now, the U.S. has averted what could have been its first debt default. The U.S. Senate has passed the bipartisan legislation that raises the government's $31 trillion debt ceiling for 2 years. President Biden will sign the bill into law today. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said that America can now breathe a sigh of relief. Markets around the world are anxiously waiting for the U.S. Fed decision in June. Most analysts expect the Fed to not hike rates in June. JP Morgan's Jahangir Aziz believes the Fed is most likely to keep interest rates steady in June, maintaining a dovish stance for at least a while. He further added that emerging markets are showing strong resilience despite rate hikes, adding that exports and service trends will remain a key concern.
So I think there's a lot of strength in the U.S. economy, and consequently, the Fed most likely will pause, which is what our baseline view is. The market had expected, the Fed to actually raise, and then after the, pre-meeting signals sent by both by Jay Powell as well as by Vice Chair Jefferson, the market is basically looking at a, much lower probability of a rate hike in June. But I think, the pause is going to last for a very long time.
A pause expected by the Fed, and back home, of course, we are counting down to the MPC's meet as well. Now, the government's offer for sale in Coal India has been oversubscribed more than 4 times at the end of day 2. The government had offered to sell up to 3% stake in the company. The floor price was fixed at 225 rupees a share, discount of over 6% from Wednesday's closing price. The DPAM Secretary Tuhin Kanta Pandey told CNBC-TV18 in an exclusive interview that the proceeds from the sale will cross 4,000 crore rupees. He also spoke about the IDBI Bank proposed stake sale and the potential disinvestment of the government stake in Hindustan Zinc. Take a look.
Coal India OFS has done well. We had the first day yesterday for QIBs, and we got 3.46 times the subscription. And today it's also has gone well. The forecasts are on the upside. Despite the headwinds, I think Indian economy is doing better. And capex also, there has been a good upcycle, particularly on government spending on capex has gone up well. So I think overall the market situation looks all right. IDBI Bank is, as we say, we are fit and proper, sort of test which they have to undergo for the people who have been qualified. They have to be further qualified by the RBI in terms of the fit and proper tests, and following which, there will be a due diligence. So that's proceeding well. Well, I think on SZL, you know about the government stand, and well, that's something which is actually now a thing of, I would say, past. Going forward, I think we will continue our the goal of how we can also come out of the residual in a certain calibrated manner.
Well, that is the DPAM Secretary. In the aviation space, while some airlines are struggling to survive, the biggest carrier, Indigo, is expanding its wings in international markets. The airline will fly to 6 new destinations in Africa and Central Asia, connecting Delhi to countries like Georgia and Azerbaijan, and Mumbai to Kenya and Indonesia. With this, Indigo's connectivity will go up from 26 international destinations to 32. Danish standing by with more. Danish.
Well, in a major development for Indigo and travelers from India, the airline has announced expansion to 6 new international destinations. Indigo will be expanding its flights to Africa and Central Asia regions, and Indigo will connect Mumbai to Nairobi in Kenya, Jakarta in Indonesia in late July or early August. Similarly, Indigo will connect Delhi to the capital of Georgia with 3 weekly flights, Baku in Azerbaijan with 4 weekly flights in August, and in September, Indigo will connect Tashkent in Uzbekistan with 4 weekly flights from Delhi, and Almaty in Kazakhstan with 3 weekly flights. The airline has also said that flights between Delhi to Hong Kong will restart in August. So overall, if we see, the total number of international destinations for Indigo will now go up to 32 from the current 26 destinations. And in total, Indigo will be adding 174 new international flights between June and September 2023.
Danish, many thanks. Now, CNBC-TV18 Newsbreak confirmed Bank of Maharashtra has announced a qualified institutional placement of shares. The floor price has been set at nearly 30 rupees a share. This is at a 5% discount to yesterday's closing price. The lenders plan to raise up to 1,000 crore rupees through the issue at a base price of 500 crore rupees and a potential green shoe option of the same quantum. Market regulator SEBI has extended time to submit public comments on its consultation paper on mutual fund expense ratios till the 8th of June. SEBI had proposed a uniform total expense ratio for all mutual fund schemes, which could impact revenues of AMCs. The proposal aims at increasing transparency in the fees charged by mutual funds. The US drug regulator has placed Intas Pharma's Ahmedabad plant on an import alert. This means that the US will not import certain products from this plant till the alert is in place. Ekta joins us now with more. Ekta, what is the problem exactly?
Intas Pharma's Ahmedabad plant has been placed under import alert by the US drug regulator. The private company, which is also headquartered in Gujarat, had its plant inspected by the US drug regulator late last year. The inspection, which lasted from 22nd November to 2nd December, concluded with the US drug regulator issuing 11 observations to the facility. The import alert for this facility, which manufactures complex drugs such as injectables, does not, however, come as a surprise. 3 US drug inspectors who had inspected the plant for close to 2 weeks pointed out glaring gaps in the running of the plant in their 36-page Form 483. Issues highlighted range from integrity of data, one of what is considered to be the most severe lapses to inadequate documentation practices, test methods and procedures to prevent microbiological contamination. The US FDA, in fact, said there was a cascade of failure in the quality unit's lack of oversight on the control and management of good manufacturing practice documents, which are critical in ensuring the drugs manufactured are safe and effective. This is not the first run-in with the US FDA for INTAS. In 2017, the company's biotech unit in Moriah was issued 14 observations. The lapses there too pointed out inadequacies in procedures, documentation as well. Experts say since the import alert involves data integrity issues, then it might take time for the company to remediate the facility, which is likely to involve hiring a third-party consultant as well. Interestingly, however, over 20 products have been exempted from the facility. That means the company can still manufacture and supply these drugs to the US FDA, likely with conditions such as batch-by-batch approval by the drug regulator. The reason for the exemption of these drugs is likely due to the shortage of drugs in the US, which is currently at a 5-year high.
Ikra, many thanks. Now, staying with bad news for the pharma sector, the Pharmaceutical Export Promotion Council of India has issued a show-cause notice to Gujarat-based Indiana Ophthalmics for allegedly exporting contaminated eye drops to Sri Lanka. The drops had allegedly caused eye infections in 30 people in Sri Lanka. As per the notice, Indiana Ophthalmics has to conduct an internal investigation and submit a report to the Export Council by the 3rd of June. Failure to do so may lead to suspension of its registration. Housing.com founder Rahul Yadav's 4B Networks is facing heat from its majority shareholder InfoEdge. InfoEdge has initiated a forensic audit against the prop tech startup after it allegedly failed to provide details of financial transactions when asked by investors. Shruti Mishra is standing by with the details. Shruti, Rahul Yadav facing the heat once again.
Yes, that's right. InfoEdge has initiated a forensic audit into Rahul Yadav's second startup, 4B Networks. Now, this comes after it marked down the valuation of its invested stake in 4B Networks to zero in February this year. In 2022, InfoEdge subsidiary All Check Deals India invested 288 crore rupees and became its biggest investor with a controlling stake. InfoEdge says it has initiated the forensic audit after 4B Networks had failed to give it details of where it had spent the money. InfoEdge has sought information including details and particulars of financial transactions and such other aspects from 4B Networks and its current management, which 4B Networks is contractually obligated to give. Now, InfoEdge said this in a filing with stock exchanges. However, as 4B Networks has repeatedly failed to provide AIPL with such information, as a consequence, AIPL has appointed Deloitte as the forensic auditor. InfoEdge told us, and I quote, "We have been advised by our legal counsel to refrain from engaging with the media until the ongoing forensic investigation is completed. We understand the importance of transparency and will provide updates as soon as we're able to do so," end of quote. Now, Rahul Yadav did not respond to our queries. Founded in 2020, 4B Networks is a matchmaking platform that connects brokers with properties and buyers. By June 2022, 4B Networks claimed to have 50,000 brokers. The platform also said it had disbursed 1,000 crore rupees worth of home loans by then. It had 500 employees with Yadav serving as the CEO. But exactly a year later, InfoEdge has marked the company down to zero. This surely brings back some uncomfortable memories for Rahul Yadav, who had a tumultuous stint with Housing.com in 2015. In a series of events which had captivated the startup world, Yadav was eventually fired from the company. Housing was sold off to Prop Tiger and has since been meandering along as one of the country's many real estate platforms. It remains to be seen what the financial audit will uncover, but it appears that Rahul Yadav's second entrepreneurial stint is imploding even more spectacularly than his first. Back to you.
Shruti, many thanks for joining us. Now, former MasterCard CEO Ajay Banga is set to begin his 5-year term as the president of World Bank. He succeeds David Malpass. Banga will be the first India-origin president to head the global financial institution. He was previously on the boards of American Red Cross, Kraft Foods and Dow Inc. as well. Facebook parent Meta has asked its employees to work from the company's offices at least thrice a week starting September. Reports say the rule will not apply to employees designated as remote workers. The tech giant has said that returning to office will support collaboration and foster a more conducive work culture. We will head into a break, but up next, the Law Commission of India recommends retention of the Sedition Law with changes including extending the maximum jail term from 3 to 7 years. More on that when we get back.
This car's electric for more reasons than just being woke.
Oh yeah.
And man, the money it saves you is no joke. It's got enough range to get you anywhere!
And it's the goat to park when you get there.
The all-new MG Comet EV, the no-nonsense car.
Because just like us, this car cuts the crap, man.
दुनिया में कुछ लोग कहते हैं और कुछ लोग करते हैं। जब कहा गया देश में सोलर पावर सफल नहीं हो सकता, तो हमने सुना नहीं, उसे सफल कर दिखाया। कहा देश का सबसे बड़ा पावर प्लांट बनाना इम्पॉसिबल, तो हमने पॉसिबल कर दिया। बोला कोने कोने तक बिजली पहुंचाना किसी के बस की बात नहीं, हमने पहुंचा दी। सवाल उठे एनवायरमेंट फ्रेंडली गैस सब तक कैसे पहुंचेगी? हमने वो भी पहुंचा दी। कहा तो ये भी गया पैकेज फूड बिजनेस हमसे नहीं हो पाएगा, लेकिन हमने कर दिखाया। बातें उठी सीमेंट सेक्टर में हम कभी स्ट्रांग नहीं बन सकते, तो हमने सुना नहीं, बन के दिखाया। चर्चा हुई देश में इतना बड़ा पोर्ट बनाना असंभव, हमने संभव कर दिखाया। और जब कहा गया देश के एयरपोर्ट्स इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड्स के नहीं हो सकते, तब भी हमने सुना नहीं, कर दिए। मुश्किलों की नहीं सुनते, हम करके दिखाते हैं। अदानी, हम करके दिखाते हैं।
अभी और कितने चक्कर लगाने पड़ेंगे सर जी?
आप इतनी सी बात क्यों नहीं समझते सर जी? आप हमारा ध्यान रखो, हम आपका ध्यान रखेंगे।
ओ।
9501-200-200 ये
एंटी करप्शन एक्शन लाइन।
मैडम जी आप बेकार में परेशान हो रहे हो। मैं कराता हूँ ना 2 दिन में आपका काम। आप तो बस चढ़ावा चढ़ा देना, घर बैठे आ जाएगा आपका लाइसेंस। आपको ड्राइविंग टेस्ट की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी।
पक्का?
पक्का जी पक्का।
तो आपने एक नंबर लिखिए, जब बन जाएगा तो उस पे कॉल करिएगा।
9501-200-200
एंटी करप्शन एक्शन लाइन।
अगर आपसे भी कोई रिश्वत मांगे तो कॉल करें 9501-200-200। एंटी करप्शन एक्शन लाइन से पिछले 1 साल में अब तक 300 से ज्यादा भ्रष्टाचारी गिरफ्तार हो चुके हैं। पंजाब में रिश्वत लेने वालों की अब खैर नहीं।
पंजाब के लोगों को ये संदेश देना चाहता हूँ, पंजाब को भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त बनाना हमारा वादा ही नहीं, गारंटी है।
Embark on an extraordinary learning experience with industry leaders in manufacturing and stakeholders at India Inc. on the Move. Sustainable manufacturing powered by Rockwell Automation to gain valuable insights into the future of eco-friendly production. Join us on this transformative conclave at this time.
India's Law Commission has recommended retaining the British-era Sedition Law with certain amendments and a higher jail term. The Law Commission in its report has said that the Home Ministry referred the issue to the Commission in 2016. It's also asked the Centre to issue model guidelines to curb alleged misuse. Abhimanyu standing by with the details. Abhimanyu, take us through the Law Commission's recommendations in this matter.
The Law Commission of India has recommended retention of the Sedition Law, that is Section 124A of the Indian Penal Code, with a few tweaks. It has said that the centre should come up with a set of model guidelines to ensure no misuse of the law, as well as bring in more clarity with respect to the usage and application of the law. However, it has said that the maximum period of imprisonment under the Sedition Law should be increased from the current period of 3 years to 7 years. It has also said that several procedural safeguards should be built in to ensure that there is no misuse of the law. Earlier, the top court had asked states as well as the centre to ensure that no further cases are filed under Section 124A of the IPC, while the Union government had submitted that it was considering revoking Section 124A. And now with the fresh recommendation which has been made by the Law Commission to the Law Minister, it remains to be seen what further submissions will be given by the centre before the top court, based on which any further action will be initiated either by the Supreme Court or the Union government.
Abhimanyu, many thanks for joining us. More than a month after wrestlers began protesting against the Wrestling Federation chief Brij Bhushan Singh on the grounds of sexual harassment, 2 FIRs have been filed by the Delhi police, which details at least 10 incidents of molestation, 15 incidents of sexual harassment, and 2 instances of demanding sexual favours to support the careers of athletes. Shivani standing by with the details. Shivani, take us through the details of the FIRs.
Well, exactly. The Delhi police has filed 2 FIRs against Wrestling Federation chief and BJP MP Brij Bhushan Singh based on the complaints of 8 wrestlers. The FIRs list out more than 15 alleged instances of sexual harassment, and that also reveals that the alleged instances took place in India and overseas between 2012 and 22. The complainants include Olympian Sakshi Malik, Commonwealth Game champion Vinesh Fogart, and a minor who's now 17. The wrestlers have accused Singh of groping them, inappropriately touching them on the pretext of checking their breath, or while pretending to get pictures clicked, asking for sexual favors, or facing repercussions in upcoming trials and games, etc. In some cases, the wrestlers have also alleged that Singh tried offering them supplements in return of sexual favors. One of the wrestlers has also said that Singh stalked her and called her mother repeatedly to put pressure on her. The minor's complaint filed by her father alleges that the daughter was completely disturbed and cannot be at peace anymore. Among the many allegations recorded by the FIR, the minor wrestler has alleged that Brij Bhushan Singh held her tightly, pretending to get a picture clicked. The accused squeezed her towards himself, pressed hard on her shoulder, and then deliberately brushed his hands against her breast. The minor has alleged that Singh also tried to intimidate her. In one instance recorded in the FIR, Singh allegedly told the minor that since she's not cooperating with him, she will face the repercussions in the upcoming Asian Championship trials. 2 wrestlers have alleged that Singh called them in his room while they were in various tournaments and harassed them. The wrestlers also allege that they were punished when they revolted. In 2 such instances, the wrestlers have said that their names were dropped from trial list and notices were issued against them.
Shivani, many thanks for joining us. That is the latest in that matter. And with that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of Business 360. Do stay tuned to CNBC-TV18. Our Friday favourite Editors Roundtable comes up next.